Andrew Babinski in the Kim Komando Show. Man Cave, welcome, sir.
Hello, Kim.
And you have on the line, I believe, Cindy from Greenville, South Carolina. And this is the story that I read about in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, their story is getting national attention, where their daughter got a cell phone, and some strict perimeters were put on it, and she had a curfew. And then they found out, and I don't even want to hear about this. I have a 1-year-old. I can't imagine what this is going to be like when she's 14 years old.
You don't want to know.
She was using a burner phone.
Okay, because they all want to get online. They're all addicted. They
Yes.
are. Okay. And so, and what amazed me about this is that these parents, they were active parents. They were involved.
Sure.
Okay. It wasn't like they just turned a blind eye and said, just give the kid the phone and we'll figure out what happens 6 years from now. No, they were involved in, up to and including, and Cindy, thank you for joining us on the show today, up to and including that you actually would take her phone away at night.
So sorry about that. Is this Philip?
Yes, we had some basic guidelines for her use when she started with a cell phone. Now, this has been 5 years ago. When she was 14 years old, we held off as long as we could to give her the cell phone initially, not knowing how we would manage it. And we had her put it up at a certain time at night and met her grades, and so on and so forth. Had to be a certain, A's and B's.
Sure.
And that she had to, just do the basic chores and things that we expected of her.
And so at night, she'd put the phone in the box, and in the morning, you'd give it back to her, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then, but it didn't quite go as planned, right?
It didn't. She started to try to overstep the line, and sometimes it wouldn't be in on time, and so we would revoke it the following day, and it just continued. Sometimes it would be put there, and then it would go missing, and so we ended up having some issues that way first.
Now, let me tell you something. Isn't it annoying, or I found it annoying with my son, and I would actually tell him this. It's annoying to me that I have to get in an argument with you over a smartphone.
Absolutely. We felt that from the very beginning, and we knew that how strong, that's their connection, that socially it's a priority for them.
Right.
And so they would, for her, she would do anything to get that phone back. And that's where we ended up getting into the burner phones and things like that when hers was revoked. They really feel, and I've talked to some teachers and some other parents, they really do, once they have a device, feel entitled to these phones.
Yeah, it's not, it becomes a rite of passage, right?
Exactly.
At a certain age, you get to have a sleepover. At a certain age, you get to stay up to 11 p.m. at night. At a certain age, you get to stay out with your friends till 10 p.m. at night. And it's just, well, this is the internet. You get Snapchat. You get Instagram, okay? And as a parent, I have full, and that's why I read this story. I said, oh my gosh, I have full empathy. And and sitting in this national chair, I tell people to take the phones away and to watch their kids. And then all of a sudden, how did you find the burner phones?
So what happens is she's the oldest of 4 children, and so we set this in place for her. We ended up finding a burner phone when we'd take her phone for one reason or another, and then she would stop asking for her phone back.
Oh, okay.
And we did. We would go up to get her in the morning for school, and there's a stray phone laying in her bed beside her. And most of them are cracked, or they could be iPods, somebody's old phone.
Yes.
But yeah, any way for them to connect to the Wi-Fi was, we found multiple phones. So it did become an issue. And we really felt like these guidelines were important. We felt adamant about it. We didn't really let up on it.
Right.
And we really want to teach them how to use their phones responsibly.
Okay, so when did it hit the crescendo? When did it all just fall apart?
Well, we ended up at the end, we couldn't get her to cooperate, and she just felt like, this was my phone. You don't have any business going through my phone. Number one, it was our phone. We paid for the phone.
Right.
We wanted to have access to her passwords, and she felt very violated, I think. And I think she really, what ended up happening was, as we said, we're not paying for your phone anymore. You're going to have to get your own phone. And so that's when things kind of went sour us.
Yeah, and because all of a sudden, if they have to figure out how to pay for it, and it's $100 a month, right? I mean, it's crazy.
Exactly. Then she, then she had to work. She had to get a job so that she could pay for it. And by then it was just, we were having other defiant issues coming in along play with that. And when they have these cell phones, here's one of the other issues that came along with it. They have access to anything, anytime, 24/7, and we had issues with the sneaking out, and because anybody can pick them up, anybody can, so they really, it just opened a big can of worms that we weren't ready for. And, we felt like we needed to kind of keep our hands around her and have control of this situation.
But you know what? I have to commend you, because you have to be a strong parent to do this, because they will fight you, right? I mean, they will tell you that you're like the worst person ever, okay? And you don't understand them, right? You don't. I mean, this is they make you feel old because this wasn't like this when you were growing up. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
You don't understand.
Yes.
And nobody else has these rules.
Yeah. And why are you like this? And nobody else's parent is like this. I mean, but you have to stand tough, and that's why I wanted you to come on the air today, Cindy, is because you're an example of a typical American family that is struggling with cell phones and teenagers when we just want our kids to grow up to be self-sustaining adults, and we are having a pretty hard time at it. Thank you so much for your call. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, a few things. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for more digital know-how, check out all these other great links.